Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today we are building a castle. Surprise, surprise, since everyone else is doing them. No, I did get the new castle kit and I did want to build with it. So this is just kind of the basic shape I came up with at first. I just kind of took some boxes and some, weird shapes and put them together and made a top and a bottom, and I was like, all right, this will work. I was really just kind of experimenting at first, and I didn't even know I was recording yet. I was just kind of, trying things out, and then I realized I was recording, so I said, oh, well, all right. I guess it just instinctively had hit the record button, so we just went from there. And this is the basic shape I came up with at first, and then I was playing around with the new railings and the new, pieces for the trim and the frise and all that fun stuff, the spandrels, and I don't know, I really like how this came out, so I hope you do too. And let me know in the comments how many of you actually got the pack as soon as it came out, or if you're waiting for a sale, or for it to be out for a little while longer and work out all the kinks if there are any. I did not encounter too many kinks. The only kink I had was actually with the tool mod, so it had nothing to do with the kit itself. It was I don't know if my tool mod is out of date or not, but yeah, we had some fun with that. So I cut out all of that struggle, and I was trying to figure it out off camera, but it worked out. It was okay. Here are these new columns here and the new spandrels from the kit, and I use kind of like the more worn down swatch at first up here, and I think on the bottom floor I end up using the really pretty mossy stone, and then on the top I use the really clean one, because I would assume that the one towards the bottom, towards the ground, would have the moss or the dirt, and maybe the stuff up top would be cleaner because it hasn't been, it hasn't been touched as much. And then up here we're figuring out the roof trim, because I couldn't remember which one I had and I wanted everything to match. And then you'll see the shape of it has come together. Now I'm just adding columns and getting the spandrels put in. I do have this little entryway here. It's kind of split, and then inside that little entryway I do put a door. It's really pretty. Here's after I put all the wallpaper on, all the stone, and then I just extend the columns all around, and I think it's just so cool. So I was really feeling it at this point. It took me a while to actually figure out if I liked it or not, and then as soon as I put the wallpaper on with the stone, I just said, oh, well, there you go, look. Suddenly it's a castle. At first I just thought it was some boxes. And then back here with these weird shapes I had that didn't have roofing on them, I thought it would be really nifty to have some staircases up to the other floors that are outside. I don't know how realistic that is, but that would make sense if it was behind closed walls, that they would have staircases up to the back in the rooms, because I know that there used to be they had grand staircases inside the castle, but I can only imagine that would, if you're not inside, you're outside enjoying the grounds and you would just want to get it quickly to your room, why not? And also there's a ladder here up to the very top rooftop, and there does end up being a little entertaining area up there, a table and a little globe bar. It looks really pretty. Also added this roof decoration here that actually came with my wedding stories, and you'll see the swatch change for that later, but I did think that it needed a little bit something extra, and I didn't put any fireplaces in this castle, so that's kind of an oversight. I probably should have. But because I didn't put any fireplaces, I didn't actually end up replacing that with a chimney. My thought was originally to replace that that cathedral roof decoration with a chimney instead, but I never actually ended up adding a fireplace. So it just stays that way, and that's all right. And you'll also see the flooring is the mossy stone tile that came with the kit as well. And then here is the kind of dirtyish swatch of this door going in, and then you will see me adding the windows. It took me a while to figure out the windows. I really like these tall arched ones with the stained glass, but it just I wasn't feeling it for the front windows. I did put these itty bitty skinny windows next to the door on either side because I thought that they fit really nice there. And then I just use these normal size, I would say, square windows all over the whole side of the bottom. of the house. And here I am just adding some lighting to get a better idea of where the rooms were going to go. And you will see this changes, but I kind of close off into different quadrants at first. And then I add some archways. So there's an archway between the dining room and the kitchen, the entry hall, and then where the back door is right here, the smaller version of the front door. I put the steps in here. They are, again, an interesting shape. I just repeated the same stairs I used on the outside and then just made the shape that worked for this hallway pretty much. And then here I am closing off the rooms upstairs. This little room here that I just closed off is going to be the butler's room. And then in the middle there is going to be the bathrooms. And it actually ends up being 2 bathrooms. I do kind of cordon it off where one room is just for the bath and sink. And then there's like a little powder room inside that bathroom. So it's like easier to share the bathroom amongst the family. Up here is going to be the primary suite. So this is going to be the king and queen's quarters and then their private bathroom. And I think that it looks really, really pretty. I used a lot of base game, believe it or not, and also some vampires. I used some get together. There's a lot of very Regal stuff available amongst other packs and expansions that you might not know about. But yeah, I think that it's really easy to do with base game as well. So even if you just have base game and you want to build a castle and get the castle kit, I think that you'd be, you wouldn't have that hard of a time with it. There's actually a lot in base game that looks like it could be medieval and vintage and old. I don't know what that says about base game, but here we are in the bathrooms. I just repeated the same stuff from the bathroom downstairs. I didn't end up putting a tub in the bathroom downstairs, so up here is where the tubs go, and then here's where you'll see me close off those bathrooms. So if when you first walk in, there's a tub, and I do end up putting 2 sinks, like a double sink in the entry to the bathroom across from the tub, and then in the room right across from it is the toilet and sink. So it's like a separated washroom slash bathroom. I don't know. I think it looks kind of nice. And then out here we have the doors are going in for the exterior entrance to the princess's room, which ends up being that very large octagonal room. And then she also has a private balcony. So I think I just use this door here. No, I use the cottage living door. And I really wanted to use this one that has like the stone around it. It just looked too much like a front door. So I just used this one instead. Another cottage living door. Those look very, very nice in this build. They are very cottagey, but also castle-y. If you know what I mean. They definitely look like they could be in a old stone building such as this. And I thought about using that Get Famous bed, but instead I went with Princess Cordelia's bed. It's a very expensive base game bed. And then in the boys' room, the twin boys have Realm of Magic theme throughout their room, which you will see later. I was experimenting with where the princess's room could go, but I did decide on the octagonal room. Now this room here with this like sleigh bed ends up being the butler's quarters, and then up here, like I said, this is going to be the king and queen's room and their private bathroom. Now we are jumping to the kitchen, and we have the countertops going in. These are from Realm of Magic as well. I do end up changing the swatch to them pretty soon. Also, these vampires cabinets go really, really well with the Realm of Magic countertops, which is surprising because Realm of Magic did not come with matching upper head cabinets, but I guess they assumed that the base game ones would work. Also, so do the vampire upper head cabinets, which is surprising. And in case you didn't know that, there you go. And here's just a basic layout for how the sink and where the appliances were going to go. I was trying to get it figured out, but I do like that big hutch there being right in the middle to kind of separate. And then I use this Realm of Magic stove and also this base game range hood. And then I think we are just moving over to the other side where I add a door to the bathroom, of course. That's just a little powder room in there. And then I wanted to add like a little tea bar over here. So I took some countertop pieces and I just kind of moved them around until I found a shape that I liked. So I went with this corner shape instead. And I add the little kettle because I think that can work in here. And also the tea set from My Wedding Stories. And then the decorative tea set from Base Game, and also this little selection of tea bags in like the little stand that came with Get Together, because that makes a lot of sense. And then we have the cottage living fridge over here. I was thinking about the Realm of Magic one, but it was just too crazy. It just didn't fit what I was going for here. Even though the countertops worked, the fridge not so much. The stove even works because it's kind of low key enough. It just kind of looks ornate. That fridge is just out of control. And then in the dining room here, we are adding this lovely table from Get Together as well, because we are in the world of Windenburg, and I really thought that those items from that pack lended to the Renaissance and Regal feel of this castle. And then over here, after we got those chairs into the dining room, we're just working on the living room space real quick before we move on to our next section of footage. This is like the little library slash sitting area. And I decided on these very tall bookcases from, what are they? Are they Base Game? I feel like they might be Base Game, that or they are from University. But they are really, really pretty, and I think they make a nice little corner section. And then I came back to it later, and we have this big couch from Base Game and adding a lovely desk and a lovely desk chair. And then I pull out this little computer here. It is from Cottage Living. It's like a typewriter, but it has a computer screen attached, which is kind of fun. And then a little desk candelabra from Get Together, and one more chair that matches the Base Game couch. And I thought it needed a coffee table, so I pulled out this one from Get Together as well. And we have 2 chairs now. And then I think what I did was I was trying to figure out the curtains, because I had seen a couple of players building these with their early access, well, not really early access, their on-time access footage. And I really liked the way these Base Game curtains looked, so I already knew I wanted to use those. And then I pull out this lovely Base Game wallpaper with like the inlaid trim. I couldn't. It's very old-fashioned, but obviously it works for a castle. And then I took this rug that came with Get Famous, and I just sized it down ever so slightly with tool mod so that it would fit nicer in this area. And here I am just shuffling the furniture around to make it make sense in this space. I pulled out a lovely flower arrangement, and then I think I just picked out like a tiny little stack of books to put on the table. I was thinking about pulling out some toys, maybe like 1 or 2 toys to put on the coffee table, but I figured that this royal family would not display toys in the living room. They would keep that strictly to the children's room. And I add a ceiling candelabra and then a column over here in the corner to give these bookshelves a little less clipping in that spot. Now here we are working on the entranceway hallway, so add more of these wall candelabras on either side of like doorways, and any extra wall space I had where I could fit those candles, I did put them. And also a standing candelabra in the nook where the stairs are, and a ceiling light. And here is a little like hutch area from Cats and Dogs, but I thought it looked so nice here. And what I did was I took some backpacks and I just arranged them there, since they do have 3 kids. They have 1 teen daughter and 2 children. I decided it would be nice to have their 3 backpacks there, and also a lovely ornate memorabilia box for the family that came with Growing Together. And then I just put this organizational stack of boxes here on top, and I did have to use tool mod to lower it down ever so slightly because it was kind of sort of floating, but it really didn't take too much effort. And I think that it looks really nice. It gives a modern and family friendly touch to this castle build, because it is for a family. And I don't know if they're actually royal or not, or if they inherited this through their family, but I just thought it looked really, really nice. And I wanted this to be like a modernized family castle. They wanted to keep the castle aesthetic, but they wanted it to be very modern. And then here I am just adding some wall decorations. We have this lovely tapestry and more candles going up. And then I put up 2 end tables here on either side of the dining room entrance, or the kitchen entrance, and added some vases of fancy flowers. And I think that's pretty much it. And now we are in the kitchen. So in here, we are just looking for a rug to add. add to this space. So I was thinking about repeating this one that I used in the hallway from Realm of Magic, and you can see that I did a little bit of decorating off camera. There's some curtains, there's some clutter up top from Home Chef Hustle and cool kitchen stuff. There's a flower arrangement, there's an island. It's all done. I was just playing around off camera, and again, I didn't realize that I wasn't recording, so that's my fault. But this is how I decided to finish cluttering it up. I added a little wine barrel and some extra bottles of wine because I thought that was very essential, or should I say nectar. And then in the bathroom here, we used the wallpaper from, oh God, what's that from? The wallpaper from high school years, and also the flooring from the For Rent pack, and also just a base game ornate silver mirror. And then I think I do go back in here later and add my favorite bathroom clutter stuff, but you might not see that on camera. I do add these photos from Discovery University, and they are of Brightchester and Foxbury. I thought they were very, very nice. And then in here in the dining room, we have a knight on either side of the entrance, like guarding the royal family while they dine. And then I have the flooring is that herringbone, very fancy wood flooring, and I do continue that in the entrance hallway and the living room and all the upstairs bedrooms and such. And here we have the rug from Werewolves, believe it or not. It's just in the nice swatch. It's not like dirty and worn down. It's very pretty. I repeat the same curtains that I had in the library / sitting room, and also I use this Realm of Magic little armchair couch, the love seat, and some plants, and that's pretty much it for the dining room. And now I'm adding a couple different counter or upper head cabinets to the kitchen. I decided to use this outer corner one, and I did use the tool mod to lower it down. And then over here at the entryway, we have a little fountain right out here, and I thought that it was a nice addition to the space. And then I have that little hanging flag as well that I pulled out. Those were from Get Together. And then this trio of flags, which is also from Get Together, I put that in the upper section right where I put the bathroom windows. So I do put in the same wallpaper and same flooring from the lower bathroom downstairs. And then I think this is where I add the skinny windows, because I did want to put some kind of privacy in here. And at first I did this arrangement with the 4 windows, but then I thought that the 3 by themselves looked better. So granted, the windows look much better from the outside than they do from the inside of those bathrooms, but it's okay. We're not worried about it. They only cared what other people saw. And then we have the butler's room getting wallpaper, and the princess's room getting some wallpaper put together. And now here is the princess's room. We use a lot of modern luxe in this room. We have the end table from high school years, and the table lamp is actually base game. And then this little flower arrangement here is from the For Rent pack. The dresser is also from high school years. I really like it with these butterflies on it. Maybe she had that when she was younger, and she just carried that over to her teenage room because she didn't mind it so much, and she liked how tall it was. We can always repaint it. And then here's some more flower arrangements. I thought she would enjoy having some flowers in here. We have the Modern Luxe vanity, of course. The big area rug in the middle of the room is also from Modern Luxe kit, and I did size that up with tool mod. Then I'm getting some artwork on the wall. We have this lovely perfume bottle that I couldn't figure out if it actually fit on this wall or not, but I actually really like it. I think I may just size it down ever so slightly to put it where it goes, or I might just keep that one where it is, and when I add the other 2 extras, I might move them over. Also, that mirror is from Modern Luxe, and I had to delete the wall, move the mirror, put the wall back, and I did have to do that again after I added the curtains, but you won't see that. Here's that perfume bottle, and then I get rid of this other painting I had from City Living, and I replace it with another photo from that kit, because I just think they look so nice and very fashionista, if I do say so. So maybe this princess is like a fashion influencer also. That's her own claim to fame outside of her family. And then we are just adding another lovely light. I do use that big Modern Luxe like wavy light, but I also wanted some wall lights that maybe were reminiscent of the candles in the rest of the house, but she wanted something more modern. And then here are those curtains also from that same kit. And I think they look really, really pretty. They do cut into the mirror, so I did fix that off camera. But otherwise, they look totally fine. And then there's that little glitch with the tool mod. You can see the line from down on the ground to up in her room. Ignore that. It does go away after I saved and came back into the game. It did go away, but it was very strange. So we are just adding a little footstool to the end of the bed here. I was going to use the base game one, but I used the one from high school years instead. And then out here on her custom private balcony, we have the outdoor couch from Get Together. And then I added some of these lovely hanging plants from the Greenhouse Haven kit, and also some vining art pieces from Eco Lifestyle, and also a easel for her to enjoy. And then we are up here to the butler's quarters. I add another one of these skinny windows, and then one of the big arched windows in his room as well, because I thought if any room needed it, it was this one. It's just overlooking a big staircase. And then we have the end table also from base game, and I think I just use the same like the Seasons light that I always use for bedrooms. It's my stereotypical bedroom light. It just looks like a normal table lamp. And then also the Mission Collection base game dresser, and the mirror that goes above it. A little plant on the dresser. I think I just picked this cute little potted fern thing. And then I was picking out some artwork for in here. So I think what I did was I ended up going for these vintage prints up on the wall from Get Together, and also this armchair from Discover University. And here is his finished room. We have a bookshelf and a little stack of books here. The bookshelf is from Growing Together, obviously. The rug is from Cats and Dogs, I believe, and it's really nice. And then there's also some more artwork, like a vintage map. I did put a curtain up on his window, and now we are into the bathrooms after they have been fully decorated. I did this off camera because it was easier, but we have the toilet and sink with the lovely base game mirror. And then in here where the tub is, we have our bathroom clutter stuff, candle and towel rack, and of course the soap pump, the toothbrushes, and the hand towels hanging on the wall. And that is the same for both bathrooms. It is just mirrored. And obviously the above ceiling lights are from Cottage Living. And then of course we have our stereotypical bathroom light also. Here is the hallway. We just have lots of plants, tapestries, paintings, a little chess table, some more curtains, and just making it look nice. I think I might add 2 more of these windows here, because I think that just needs a little bit more something right there. And then over here in the boys' room, you can see they have lots of Realm of Magic going on in here, including the computer desk with the gaming computer and the lovely desk chair. There's also a toy box and a castle dollhouse, because I thought that was essential. And I think that's pretty much it for their room. I tried to keep it pretty simple. I think I might also add a standing candelabra from Realm of Magic to just complete the look. I think that maybe these boys have aspirations of becoming spellcasters, because they're really into magic and all of that fairy tale goodness, and they just really want to dive into that when they get older. So they're really trying to study up now, so they're prepared. And I think they're very much into it. But I think that their room came together really, really cute. I think I might also add a desk light here as well. Just this one from Discover University, because I think that it's just very simple and it goes really nicely. I think I do move it to the other end of the desk though. I have this in slow mode so that you can see what I did, because I didn't want to miss anything. And then I think the only other thing I did was I did complete this room here, but I want to move this light to the middle of the room and just make it a little bit more symmetrical. I don't like how it was centered over the coffee table and not over in the actual middle of the room. I did bring my playtester sim here as well. That is why there's currently funds in the household. Here's one more candelabra added to the sitting room / library, because I needed just a little bit more light. And now we are back to speed build mode, and we are working on the exterior and the front and back porches. So you saw the front porch. That took a while for that shape to come together, but I did use the same flooring from the exterior, and now I'm adding our barrier. So this is our wall. This is our very lovely wall, and it goes all across here with the same kind of stone. And I do add a little gate, or not a little gate, an enormous gate from the castle kit, and also another door on the other side of the gate. And I think that it just looks really nice. It looks kind of sort of realistic, I guess. I did have to make it tall wall height, and then I put it back to medium after I had put the gate in there. And as you can see, there's hardly any clipping or anything, so I don't see why that matters. I do extend these walls a little bit too, because having them just one tile wide wasn't enough. And I also add a little separate entrance here. So on either side there's a door, and I assume that only the employees, like the butler and like the chef and, you know, maintenance and maids, whoever, will access those, and it'll just be to easier maintain the grounds. So that's pretty much it. Those doors will be locked for everybody except the household and employees, and that's just their little secret passageway. And we have a bunch of vines going up the outside here. I do add a whole bunch of vines and plants, and I make these gardens look super lush and, you know, like they've been here for a while. They're really pretty. Lots of cottage living vines and also some wisteria. I really love how we've gotten so many lovely like pieces, even in debug and live edit, just to complete this look. Like, it's great because the kit only comes with, what was it, like 20 objects or something, but with all the swatches included, and then just all the base game stuff, especially if you include debug and live edit, you can do so much just with this little tiny kit for $5. And I think that that's really cool. I hope that they do more stuff like this, like different kinds of build aesthetics and time period pieces, because you really can do a lot. You don't need all of the packs to do something like this. Now, I went a little ham because I can, but if I had been trying not to, I totally could have done it. And now here I'm adding a little back porch area as well, because I wanted there to be another level of separation in the front and back. So here I am just adding that additional porch, and nobody can get there. There's no doorway, there's no staircase, but it's just kind of like a little overhang. And I'm hiding the exposed stair railing there with that crest piece. And then here are some of the eavesdropping llamas in either corner of this back patio. And then here I was picking out a bench here. I use this one from Romantic Garden Stuff. I think that it looks really, really pretty. And then we have 2 more chairs. I think I used the ones from Courtyard Oasis, believe it or not, the Courtyard Oasis kit. I think they're really pretty, and I like the wood tone. They look very ornate. Maybe when this royal family travels, they are given gifts, or they go to the local markets and they pick out these ornate pieces that they want to display in their castle. So I thought that these chairs looked really nice. Maybe they went and visited Morocco and they picked up these chairs and they wanted to display them on their back porch. There's also like a little drink caddy thing from Vintage Glamour. I thought it looked really pretty. And then these candles are from Dine Out, and then I was just changing the swatch on these. Also, these are debug planters that I think are just base game, and I added some rose bushes from the live edit menu. These are from Cottage Living live edit, and I placed them here, and then some dirt piles, and I just used the sizing down with the brackets and raising up with the 0 and 9 keys, and I just kind of configured the dirt pieces to cut off that like void that is right there. I know that you can't really see it, but I knew it was there and it bothered me. So that is when I put the rose bushes back, and I think it looks really, really cute. I also end up putting a trash can back there, an additional trash can like the one I have up front from Get Together, because I thought that they could use one more bin on this property. And then we have more landscaping going in. So I pull out these bushes from Debug. They are also from Get Together, and I just size them down a little bit because they're ever so slightly too big. And then I just surround the walls with this, and then I add some terrain paint and some more of the same bushes that I had up in the back here. I just kind of repeat in the front, and I size down. I add different foxglove and the black-eyed Susan flowers that I really love, and some more vines. And I just think that it came together really, really nicely. I think that it looks like an overgrown castle garden setup. Also, these hydrangeas are from Discover University, I believe, and they are in the debug. They have multiple swatches to choose from, so I really wanted to use those. And here's some more wall vines from Get Together, and they are just climbing up the side of the wall there. They're very nice. They're very versatile. And then here's some more wisteria from Cottage Living, and I do a little sneaky trick trying to hide where the railing was cutting in once more. And then for the fountain area, and this fountain is from Romantic Garden Stuff as well, I use these base game rocks, and I just kind of configure them around this patio space to hide, that sharp edge between where the pavers end and the grass begins, and I think that looks really nice. So I do add a little extension over here to get to where the back porch is and where the back entrance to the walls are, and I think after that I do add just a little bit of terrain paint over to the kids area as well, but I don't know if you will see that on camera or not. This was done a few days ago, and I have just been super busy trying to get everything done and all the editing done. I honestly forget. Yes, so here it is for the kids area. Over here I add this lovely pirate ship playground area, and I think I take away some of that floor tile, and I think I just add terrain paint because it was just too harsh, but I add some terrain paint of these like stones all close together, just like I had in the front, and then these stones that are a little further apart for underneath, and I think that it just looks really, really nice. It looks like a children's playground. It blends in really nice. I do believe I also add this vine covered monkey bars set that also came with romantic garden stuff over on this side, and on the other side is where I add the swings that came with the little campers kit, I believe. They are just so pretty. I love the lights, the fairy lights on them, and the vines. They look like they work so well here. Also, that back gate to get to the front from the gardens is also from romantic garden stuff, and I think that it blends in really well with the tall shrubbery fence that came with base game. And then along this, I'm also using romantic garden to add some irises all around those rocks, and then you'll just see me go in with all of this terrain paint. Just so much terrain paint. Oh my gosh. It's mostly dirt. I do use a little bit of the garden bedlam, but it's mostly like the mud and the brown dirt, and I kind of do some layering. I really wanted it to look like it had been here for a while, that everything had pretty much been here for a while. And I really like how the windows in the fortress walls just add a little bit of something when you're walking around outside. I had this in like first person mode with my playtester sim, and I just think it looked so cool. I very much enjoyed that. And also we are adding some more of these benches out front from romantic garden stuff so that we would have more places for our guests to sit while they are waiting for our butler to let them in. And I think the last little thing I did was added some more exterior lights and some more candelabras, and just tried to get this place well lit. And also I added a bunch of ivy that we got from the Discover University pack in the live edit menu. It just looks so good here. You do have to kind of size it down because it's a little much, but I used some of this ivy here in the middle on each side here, and then I think I just used more of the cottage living ivy as well. They just blend together really, really nicely. So I use the same on either side. And after that, I think we are moving on to inside the walls, maybe. No, outside the walls. We have some terrain paint going in, leading to the mailbox and the bin. And here's some more bushes going around the outside. It's very boring, so I just do a quick cut here to the finished product. But yes, a lot of placing of bushes and being very intricate. And then we added some wooden ladders from inside the wall to the upper deck so that everybody can get around easier. Also, we have some tall cypress trees, and I put some more knights on all corners of the upper walls. And then in the front entryway, we needed some flowers up here. So I added these lovely planters, the hanging planters from Get Together. And then up here, we're just fixing up the turret space. I did change the swatch once more. And then we're working on the upper deck above the King and Queen's quarters. I used this lovely bench up here from Desert Lux. And then down here, I use these like church pews almost from My Wedding Stories. I just kind of tuck them in there. Maybe those are like the old benches that were just built in and they've always been there. And then it's fine. And then I did add a door outside the King and Queen's room to get to their little private balcony. Also, this vampire's dresser is so nice, and it matches the Realm of Magic bed quite well. And also the Get Together nightstands. And then I used this very expensive Long John Buttercups table light. I don't know why that name is just funny, but I add these same curtains that I had downstairs, and the curtains were giving me a really hard time with placement, so ignore the jumpiness of that. I'm so sorry. I tried to cut most of that out, but it's really hard to when you have all the footage so close together. And then we are adding a fiddly fig in here, and I think I also add a mirror here. This one is from Base Game, believe it or not, and it matches the wood tones so nice, so I thought it was a nice addition. Adding one more poof to the end of the bed here. I use this one also from Base Game, and I think it's really pretty. And one more rug I do believe I add, but first I pull out a flower arrangement and I put on top of this very expensive Base Game end table there, in between those two windows. I think I used the same rug from Get Famous that I used downstairs in the living room. I even used the same exact swatch, I'm pretty sure. I really like that swatch. It's just very, very nice. And then here are those paintings I was talking about. I used these from Get Together. I just sized them down. So here's the picture of the lovely lady and then of the very handsome gentleman here. I don't know who those people are. I saw the names, but I couldn't read them fast enough, so it's fine. And then just adding some more lighting, just our usual candle light, because it's keeping in theme with the rest of the home. And then for the bathroom, I use the same light as the other rooms. You'll see here I have the plunger and the towel on the wall, and I'm adding this little dove decoration. We also have some robes, and I'm adding this lovely painting from Cottage Living in this swatch here. And then for their little area out here, I thought maybe adding some more of these plants here, the hanging flowering baskets would be nice. And also up here, back to the upper deck. So moving that Desert Luxe bench over, I really wanted to put a nice big flower arrangement up here. Just sized it down ever so slightly, and then I repeated the bench and also the flowers because I thought that it needed symmetry, but I didn't want it to be completely symmetrical because that would be boring. And then underneath those two stone benches, I did want to pick a rug, so I picked this one from Base Game. Again, lots of Base Game, and I did size it up ever so slightly with Tool Mod, and then I rotate it and I just kind of slide it under, so it is kind of half cocked, but I think it looks really nice. And I had to add more money again. This place ends up being a little pricey, but there is our globe bar, and now we are putting in our lovely banquet table. And this is for entertaining purposes, so I did add these lovely chairs. I was thinking about using the Get Famous ones, but instead I use these from Get Together instead because they match a lot better, and I just think that they look more suited to be outdoor dining chairs. And that is it for our castle build. So here is our playtester sim. She is a royal. I will include her information. I did get her off the gallery. She will be in the description box down below. I was thinking about downloading a royal family, but it just seemed like too much work. So here she is, just enjoying the grounds and the upstairs amenities, grabbing herself a lovely cocktail and then sitting down to enjoy it. And then pretty shortly after she sat down to enjoy this, the welcome wagon showed up. So I was able to have guests in the home and to see how everybody moved around in the space, which was very helpful. I saw that everybody could use the bathrooms properly. Everybody could get to all of the activities. We had some Yorkshire pudding and everybody enjoyed it very much. Everybody could sit at the island. Some chose to sit in the dining room, but I think that it came along really, really nicely. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this one, and be sure to like and subscribe. Also, comment if there's something else you would like to see. If you'd like to see something else using the castle kit, or if you want to see a build using some other kits. I don't know if I'll be doing anything with the Goth Galore kit. I'm not really a big cast person, but thank you so much for joining me here today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.